Hello and welcome to this video detailing how you can implement the Employment Wage Subsidy Scheme in your Sage Business Cloud payroll. The agenda is on screen now. We'll firstly have a look at what the Employment Wage Subsidy Scheme is, then we'll have a look at how you can implement that in your Sage Business Cloud payroll, followed by some useful resources. The Temporary COVID-19 Wage Subsidy Scheme, or TWSS, was introduced on the 26th of March 2020 and was designed to assist employees whose employers were affected by the pandemic to receive significant financial support direct from their employer through the payroll system. The TWSS initially refunded €410 to employers for each qualifying employee. From the 4th of May 2020, the subsidy payment was based on the previous weekly net pay of each employee. And income tax, PRSI and USC are not deducted from the subsidy in real time, and employers' PRSI is at a reduced rate of 0.5%. So what is the EWSS? On the 23rd of July 2020, the government announced the Employment Wage Subsidy Scheme, or EWSS, an economy-wide enterprise support that focuses primarily on business eligibility. The EWSS will replace the Temporary Wage Subsidy Scheme from the 1st of September 2020 and is expected to continue until the 31st of March 2021. Both schemes will run in parallel from the 1st of July 2020 until the TWSS ceases at the end of August. If an employee is already on the TWSS, they should stay on this until the 31st of August 2020, unless the employer exits the scheme due to eligibility criteria. The TWSS ends on this date and no new applications can be accepted from that date. The rules of the EWSS state that turnover or orders should be down by 30% due to COVID-19. So employers and new firms in sectors impacted by COVID-19 whose turnover has fallen by 30% will get a flat rate subsidy per week based on the number of qualifying employees on the payroll, including seasonal staff and new employees. To qualify for the scheme, employers must self-declare to Revenue that they have experienced significant negative economic disruption due to COVID-19, with an expected minimum of 30% decline in turnover or customer orders between July to December 2020 compared with the same period in 2019. Employers are required to undertake a review on the last day of every month to ensure they continue to meet the eligibility criteria. If they no longer qualify, they should deregister for the EWSS. The rates: for every employee paid between €203 and €1,462 gross per week, the subsidy is €203. For every employee paid between €151.50 and €202.99 gross per week, the subsidy is €151.50. And no subsidy is paid for employees paid less than €151.50 or more than €1,462 gross per week. So how do you record EWSS in your Sage Business Cloud software? Firstly, you'll stop using the COVID-19 payment type after the 31st of August. We've made some changes to the software, so if a process date is used of the 1st of September or later, and you attempt to use the COVID-19 payment type or process somebody who is on a J9 PRSI class, an error message will appear. Any payments made to employees after the 31st of August should be made with the employee's normal PRSI class, and that's regardless of whether they're on EWSS or if they're on no COVID-19 subsidy scheme. Submissions after this date with J9 PRSI class will be rejected. And employer PRSI will calculate normally in Sage Business Cloud Payroll. Revenue will then recalculate and reduce the employer liability. EWSS subsidy payments will be made to employers separately to the employer's monthly tax liability. Let's have a look at how the EWSS looks in Sage Business Cloud Payroll. To mark your employees as eligible for EWSS, open their record, click Edit, and change their PRSI code back to their original PRSI code unless otherwise indicated by revenue. Then ensure there is a tick against eligible for EWSS. You can then save their record and repeat this for any other eligible employees. To run the pay under EWSS, choose Process Pay Run. Confirm your pay date as normal. Retrieve RPNs in the usual way. And when the RPNs are returned, choose Next to get to the Edit Pay screen. When in the Edit Pay screen, for any employees who have not had their PRSI class changed back from J9, you'll receive a warning detailing this cannot be used after the 1st of September. In this case, you'll need to edit the employee record, change their PRSI class as appropriate, and process again. For any employees who have had their PRSI code changed from J9 and have had the tick box selected for EWSS eligibility, you'll see this warning in Edit Pay, advising you that you've chosen to inform revenue that this employee is eligible for the EWSS and to ensure you've checked the scheme eligibility criteria. If you're sure you have checked the criteria correctly and marked this employee as eligible correctly, you can process your pay as normal. So how will revenue know which employees have been marked for EWSS? First, you must indicate you're eligible by registering on Revenue Online Services. A requirement to register is that you have a valid tax clearance certificate. You'll be unable to register if you don't have a certificate or your certificate is expired. Ross is advising it may take up to 3 days for a tax clearance certificate to be issued, so employers should register for this as soon as possible, ideally before the 1st of September, to ensure that there is not a delay in submitting for EWSS. Then once registered, each time you send a payroll submission for RTR from your software, the relevant employees will be flagged to revenue. Registration on Ross is simple. Firstly, log into Ross and select Manage Tax Registrations. Then select Register against Employment Wage Subsidy Scheme. Confirm the declaration. Confirm your registration date and employer reference and click Add to your request. Your request will then be visible in the Your Requests section. That's brought us to the end of the content, but I would just like to run through some further support and training. Starting with the Sage COVID-19 Hub, it's available at the address on screen now. It's got useful resources and information for Sage customers and partners in preparing for the effects of coronavirus on your business, and it's regularly updated, so do make sure you bookmark it and check back often. We've also got the Sage Help Centre at www.sage.co.uk/help. It's our central hub for all help and support content, and you can search our newly refreshed knowledge base for help on any topic. And also access Sage Q&A Live, which are live Q&A sessions that run frequently throughout the day. You can join one of those, type a question across to one of our Sage technicians and receive a typed response. Thanks very much for watching today. For more information on the July Job Stimulus Scheme, visit the address on screen now.